Hey everyone, welcome back to Lookout. Kind of a quick one. Here we're checking out the Gifford Fire, which is burning down by Santa Maria. And this fire is burning in really broken California kind of coast range geography. So just really kind of super complex terrain, not really super tall mountains, but just really dissected. And this fire got started yesterday afternoon as 4 separate fires. And basically that gave it a kind of a head start on becoming large. So it's 30,000 acres plus, maybe 40,000 by now. And what we're watching here is a view from kind of the northeast, looking back kind of southwest towards the fire. And I just wanted to pull this up because there's this kind of amazing spectacle going on right now with this fire. And what you're seeing here, I think, is that the way the topography is set up here, it's set up for the fire to kind of burn in these little kind of 1,000-acre chunks where there's like a drainage that will be aligned with the fire. And so as you see these clouds popping up, taking turns kind of putting up a header, it's just because the fire has these little like bite-sized runs it's making continuously, where one drainage comes into alignment, goes up as a big mushroom cloud, then the fire dies down a little, then it gets to the next drainage. But it's just kind of like this crazy sequence here of it marching away. But you know, as we talk about, like, you can see out in the middle here, the fire's kind of backing in some areas here. It's backing downhill, getting different fire effects than these mushroom clouds that are going up when the fire kind of is aligned with a drainage. And then just to look at that kind of in Google Earth, we've got Santa Maria down here. This fire was started by a car driving like on a flat tire or something. So you got Santa Maria, and then you come in towards the Carrizo Plain out here, New Cuyama, is that right? New Cuyama. Anyway, so this view we're having here is kind of from the northeast, looking back at this flank of the fire. And so I'm pretty sure that's what you're seeing. It's just that the fire is marching along, and it gets these little bite-sized chunks. So it's like it comes to a drainage like this, and it burns it out. And then over here, the fire's maybe taking out this drainage, and then over here, the fire's taking out this drainage. And so it's just kind of taking its time, and then it comes into alignment. Maybe it's gonna get blown into this one. And maybe this one here is going to burn here. But just kind of gobbling the landscape in these little, 50-acre, 100-acre chunks. And in between, it's kind of backing down. So it'll kind of back down into here, and then it'll run up this canyon. And it'll back down. And so, but the illustration of that in kind of real life is it's pretty spectacular. You just don't see this all that often. So I thought it was worth sharing. Someone's saying, will this burn more than the Madre? I think it will. The Madre was kind of hemmed in on one side by a road and on the other side by a big kind of open lake bed. And this one has got a huge amount of terrain out ahead of it. So this is the north side right now. The north side's what we can see. With all the smoke kind of heading south, the fire is shading itself on the downwind side. So I think if we look at like some weather satellites, probably see can see down here. We talked this morning about the fog influence, and so here you see the whole Salinas Valley, which is actually a really long stretch, was full of fog this morning, all the way up to Templeton or something. And down here you see the fog was kind of in Santa Maria. So right now you see all the smoke pouring south. So basically what that's doing is this north end of the fire has got the wind, and it's also got the sunshine. And with the smoke all going south, the south side's a little more sheltered, so it won't spread as fast that direction. If the wind comes around, it's coming out of the southwest, then it flips basically. But as far as kind of the fire's potential, this black is the Madre. So, and we see this often, we'll have a fire, we'll spend a huge amount of effort to put it out, and then another fire will start nearby and burn this whole area anyway. So it's kind of, it's all, that happens a lot. But yeah, as we see out here, like, this is all wilderness. There's no roads, or very few roads. And so, we drew a big circle yesterday and said that this fire could, had 450,000 acres of fuel available to it. The main thing that stops us from being able to put out a fire like this is access and time. Like, potentially in the past, we talked about how this kind of boundary of the wilderness here has been used many times in previous fires to kind of stop fires burning, either out of the wilderness or towards the wilderness. But this fire, we don't have the benefit of, the fire's already on both sides of the ridge. So, like, right off the bat, if the fire was only burning over here and we had time to get out here and prep this ridge, put dozers on it, do firing operation with favorable weather, maybe we'd pick it up. But as this fire is moving, there's not time, and the alignment of this particular major control feature on the landscape isn't very useful to us. So now it's pretty likely, given all this heavy fuel out here, that this is all going to burn. There haven't been any fires in the San Rafael Wilderness since any big ones since 2009. So 16 years, it's enough time for the brush to grow pretty well. You see the fire spread pretty readily already into this 16-year-old burn. And that the wind is carrying it this way too. So this fire's, like, doubled in size since this morning. And what we see often in fires this size, in this fuel type of this kind of California chamise coast range, is that the fire can double in size easily every 24 hours. So right now it's 30,000 plus acres. I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow afternoon if it's 60. So I got no idea exactly, like, what the plan is, but there's just the geography, unless we get a change in the weather, etc., the geography kind of defines the opportunity, which is not much for any sort of small box on this fire. Anyway, just want to keep that one quick because I think it's interesting. It's unfolding. Not much to report on the big cliff fire up here. Haven't heard much about it. It hasn't grown substantially. I looked a little this morning at Big Cliff and pulled up an ops map, and they've got They've got 9 hotshot crews on a 300-acre fire, and so I think potentially no one can, at least if this fire does kind of burn for a long time, no one can say that they weren't trying hard today to put it out, because they've got 370 on today's IAP. They've got 378 people assigned to the fire, and yeah, it's less than 400 acres. So that's like almost 1 person per acre. But the geography is really tough, so we'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to be offline for a couple days, but I can't help myself. If anything exciting's happening, I'll be seeing you guys. Thanks for checking us out, and have a good one.